¿Qué pasa, amigos? My name is Ash, and today I want to talk about something that has been a long time coming, and that is the official death of the once beloved Apex Legends. Previously, we have talked about the eventual downfall of Apex about a couple of months ago, and it looks like those speculations were pretty damn accurate. There were so many different issues that I was worried about at the time, and all of those issues remain to this day in one form or another. And if you're wondering why I have Fortnite gameplay over an Apex video, well, let's just say I am a part of the massive player loss that Apex has been a victim of over the last couple of months. Before we jump into the very predictable downfall of Apex, let's see how the game became wildly successful in the first place. As many know, Apex broke records by hitting 50 million total players in just under a month. This massive success was hardly expected by the team at Respawn Entertainment. However, they did make a few moves to ensure that the game would, at the very least, have a decent launch month. They did this by paying multiple popular Twitch streamers totaling millions of dollars to stream Apex Legends. They recruited the likes of Ninja to help promote their game the second it dropped onto the digital market. They also dropped the game out of nowhere, which I personally believe is a great move, because there are no expectations, hype, or drama that can hurt the game before it even releases. All of this, combined with the fact that Apex Legends is just a great game, led to its massive popularity in the gaming community. It drew in a ton of players who weren't necessarily fans of the Battle Royale genre, which is a problem on its own, but we will move on from that for now. So that was the rise of Apex. The synopsis was brief, but it gives us the context in which the collapse occurred within. Before we get too deep, I want to say that Apex Legends is obviously a good game, but with that being said, the game hasn't developed or evolved at all over its 3-month lifespan. For a Battle Royale, if you're not constantly updating and evolving your game, it will slowly die. That's just how it goes. It's an amazing game mode to build a full title around, but it's a game type that brings with it more work in the long run. You cannot treat a BR like a single-player first-person shooter like Respawn has so far. You can't just drop the game and forget about it. Now, I know that I have really slammed Respawn for their utter lack of content, and while I think that is one of the major issues with Apex right now, I won't get too deep into that topic. However, if you would like to watch me rip them apart for their gaming negligence, I'll have a video that I've made in the past linked in the description below. I also wanted to move on from this topic because I feel there are a ton of other dominoes that have fallen in the past few months that have really contributed to the death of Apex outside of the tired out premise of just no DLC or content. Anyway, before we move on to the major causes of death for Apex Legends, I wanted to give you some actual proof that Apex is slowly but surely dying and will continue to do so moving forward. First, we take a look at the average number of viewers on Twitch to give us some sort of context to this entire situation. When Apex was blowing up in early February, the game saw an average of 333,000 viewers per hour on the platform. Obviously, sustaining those numbers is impossible, but they did manage to hang around 200,000 per hour for almost 3 weeks. But since then, the viewership has plummeted to as low as 19,000 viewers per hour. This drop is most likely due to a combination of things. The first being the mass defection of major streamers from Apex Legends to other Battle Royale titles. Once the $1 million contracts expired, streamers like Ninja went back to the bread and butter that got them where they are. Apex was losing these social media promotional tools that got them there in the first place. In addition to this, the common player was just not interested in the game anymore. I know this point may feel a bit anecdotal, but a relatively large portion of the Apex Legends player base was leisure time players, and that is not exactly the player base that you want to tap into for the long term. They won't stick around for very long, they won't spend as much money, and so on. I think this is another major factor that maybe not many people are recognizing. The game did an amazing job of getting those players engaged, but unfortunately that demographic is not a sustainable group. Another issue that Apex faces doesn't even exist within the game itself. It comes in the form of its direct competition. While technically every game competes with one another, I think in the world of streaming, the Battle Royale reigns as king. The top streamers basically run Battle Royale titles 24/7, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So while every game competes with one another, Apex Legends' direct competition is really other BR titles. And of course, we know their main enemy is Fortnite. Like we've talked about before, adding content and evolving your game over time is how you survive and thrive in the world of the Battle Royale. And the god in that realm is of course Fortnite. With Season 9 dropping about a week ago now, they are seeing players flooding back to their game once again. And as we have come to learn with Fortnite, just because they drop a brand new season with all new guns, equipment, skins, and so much more, doesn't mean that new content isn't on the horizon. Fortnite is always dropping new content for their players to use and experiment with, and they just announced that they will be adding a tactical assault rifle to the game in the very near future. But like I said, I won't get into the content issue too deeply because I have done that in a couple other videos previous to this one, and the issue still remains the same. But seriously, Respawn, where the hell is the content? Anyway, that will do it for this video. Make sure you hit like, click or tap that subscribe button to become the heart of this gaming channel, and be a part of the conversation in the comments below by telling everyone how you feel about any and all of today's information. And for more gaming analysis, news, reviews, and opinions, stay here on Ash Heart. And as always, thanks for watching.